Alright, what's up guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I'm going to be finally completing the trilogy of fixing the starter packs. I've already done all the regular starter packs, and I have done the dark editions, so there's only one more to do, and that is the 3DS starter packs. So this video isn't going to have as much relevance to the previous ones as the dark edition did to the first one, so you can pretty much watch this one without having watched those and it'll be completely fine. But some of the picks are based at least a little bit off of that video, so it might be worth watching those if you want to, and if you enjoy this, I would definitely recommend watching those because they're going to be pretty similar. But I'm going to be creating basically a new starter pack or changing whatever I think needs to be changed for most of these for most of the 3DS starter packs. I will say something that I do think is very important is I think they should all have a variant in them. I think having a variant in the 3DS starter pack is part of what makes it unique. I'm also going to be changing Supercharged Racing. That one's going to be included, and I'm going to make a 3DS one for the for Imaginator, since it never got one. So I'm going to be doing that as well on this video. So without further ado, let's jump right into it with SSA. So not only was SSA able to pretty much nail it with the console starter pack, but I think the 3DS starter pack was also pretty perfect. I think Dark Spyro was a perfect variant, and come on, it's his game. He's got to be in the 3DS starter pack. You can't take him out or change him for anything, but I think having a dark variant of him worked really well for this starter pack. And then I think Igniter and Stealth Elf are also pretty good picks. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Stealth Elf, but I think there are a lot of people who like her, and I know that Activision likes putting one female Skylander in the starter packs to have a broader appeal to more children. And then Igniter, I think he works great as a starter pack Skylander. He's just a basic fire knight, and he looks super cool. Like, why would you not want to play as Igniter? The only thing that is a little bit weird is that, like, 2 of the 3 Skylanders, their primary attack is fire based, but that's pretty whatever, just because Spyro's got some weird going on. I don't know why he's not the fire emote, but I think the starter pack actually worked really well, so I'm not going to be changing anything, so there's not really much else to talk about. So let's move on to Giants. In Giants, I'm actually going to change the Giant in the starter pack to Granite Crusher. I think this is such a cool idea, just because Crusher is, other than T-Rex, he's my favorite giant, and I actually think he is my favorite giant over T-Rex, so I think he would work really well because of that, because he's just really good overall. And then also this variant is perfect. It's like just a really sick variant, and I feel like the Skylander, the big new Skylander that everyone's gonna be looking at in the starter pack, should have some sort of special feature to it, some sort of special variant, or that should be the Skylander with the variant. So I think Granite Crusher would work really well, because when you're looking at the 3DS starter pack, that's pretty much what you're gonna see. Now the other ones that I'm including, Jetvac. Right here I said that Jetvac is good to stay. Basically, when I was recording this, I messed up a little bit and said that Jetvac was originally in the starter pack, but it was actually Cinder. I got this wrong, but I still think this pretty much works perfectly if you replace Jetvac, or replace Cinder with Jetvac for the 3DS starter pack. So that's pretty much an error that I made, and this is me recording in the future while I'm editing this. Stay. I think Jetvac's fine. He works well as a new core. It gives you a good ranged option, and I think his design is just enticing enough. Some people don't like him personally. I don't have any problem with him. And then the other Skylander I think we should have is Light Core Pop Fizz. I think it's crazy that there wasn't a Light Core Skylander in the original Giant starter pack. Like, I'm like, what is the point of that? Like, I get they want to show off the series too, but the light cores are so much cooler. So I think Light Core Pop Fizz would work really well, and I'm pretty sure he's actually rare, so maybe he wouldn't be as rare if he was in that starter pack. And Light Core Pop Fizz just looks like a cool Skylander. So I think Granite Crusher, Light Core Pop Fizz, and Jetvac would work perfect for the 3DS Giant starter pack. Now moving on to Swap Force, I think Free Ranger was honestly really good. I think Free Ranger is a really good swapper that a lot of people like, so I have no problem with keeping him in the starter pack. Now the other swapper, though, I think there should still be 2 swappers, is going to be Nitro Magna Charge. This does a couple things. One, it keeps it so that there are no overlapping elements or movement types for swappers in the 3DS starter pack or the console starter pack. I mean, Washbuckler, Blast Zone, Free Ranger, Magna Charge, all of them have different movement types, and all of them have different elements, so that's not an issue at all. And the Nitro Magna Charge variant is just really cool, and I think he would work well with that Free Ranger, because Free Ranger is much more of a close range Skylander, and Magna Charge is definitely more of a long range Skylander. I think they would work pretty well together in the starter pack. And then for the core, I think Riptide is honestly a good option. Riptide has a very simple yet complex moveset at the same time, because he does have 2 movesets. You can throw his little fish, and then you can get a new one, and you could swap them out depending on how you're feeling. Like, if you want stronger but slower attacks, you can have one fish. If you want faster but weaker attacks, you can have another fish. And I also think it really works well, and I think he's very appealing to kids, and even now that I'm more grown up, I still like using Riptide. I don't get where all the hate comes from. I think he's really good. So I think this would actually be a really cool starter pack for Swap Force with Free Ranger, Nitro Magna Charge, and Riptide. Now moving on to Trap Team, this might be the weirdest one. I'm not really sure why, but they decided to down the number of Skylanders to only 2, and there aren't any traps at all, because on the 3DS you don't even use traps, which is so weird because that's the whole gimmick of the game. It's like playing Swap Force on the 3DS and you can't even swap Skylanders. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But there are no traps in this game for some reason, so we're not even gonna be talking about those. We're just gonna be talking about the 2 Skylanders that are in it. And now the regular one has Gusto and Barkley, which I think is really weird. But I think replacing Gusto with the other Air Trap Master being Thunderbolt is a much better option. Thunderbolt 1 I think looks a lot cooler. Like, if you see Thunderbolt, I would much rather have him than Gusto. Gusto's design is not that good despite his moveset being really fun. So I think Thunderbolt would be really cool. And he's like kind of a very like all-around Skylander with him having a ranged attack that also works as close range, and then his air attacks are pretty cool to use. And then the other one, I think we should have a core instead of a mini. I think bringing back a mini is so dumb. Like, if you already got Giants on the 3DS or on any other console for that fact, and then you get it on, and then you get Trap Team on the 3DS, it's like now you just have 2 of the same Skylander. It's so dumb. If you never got any other figures, it's like half your collection is Truex. It's really dumb. I don't like it. So I think we should replace him with a core and a variant, and that is King Cobra Kadabra. Cobra Kadabra just looks really cool, and I think having Thunderbolt and Cobra Kadabra in the starter pack is very enticing. Both these Skylanders just look awesome, and King Cobra Kadabra is such a cool and unique variant that I think would work really well in the starter pack. He has a really cool design on his own, but when you give him the white color scheme, I think he just looks even cooler. So I think this would work really well. Having Thunderbolt and King Cobra Kadabra in the 3DS starter pack would be pretty dang enticing, and it's air and magic, so it's very much differs from the life and water that you get in the console starter pack. I think this would work overall, so I think those are the 2 I would pick for Trap Team. Now for Superchargers Racing, I think Hammer Slam Bowser is fine. Hammer Slam Bowser, I'm not really going to change that. I think honestly that worked out really well. I think having these like console exclusive Skylanders was kind of a weird move, but I think that if you for the 3DS, Hammer Slam Bowser I think is better than Turbocharged Donkey Kong, so I'm fine with having him in the starter pack. Then the other Skylander that I want to put in is Legendary Bone Bash Rollerball. Couple reasons for this. One, I think you should show off the new reposes and superchargers since they have completely new movesets from the ground up. I think it is definitely worth putting a supercharged repose in the starter pack. Bone Bash Rollerball is one of my favorite Skylanders ever. I absolutely love her moveset, so I think she would work really well in the starter pack. And Legendary, obviously, there's just a cool variant type, and I think it's a good move to have a variant in each of the 3DS starter packs to make them stand out a little bit. As far as vehicles go, yeah, I think keeping the Clown Cruiser, or you could put the Tomb Buggy, it doesn't really matter too much. They'd both be fine. I don't really care about vehicles that much. Now for Imaginators, if it got a 3DS starter pack, there are a couple options. I mean, obviously you could say there wasn't a 3DS starter pack because the Switch was out by then, but the Switch didn't get any sort of unique starter pack other than not having a portal. The Skylanders were the exact same. Now if there was a starter pack for the 3DS, this is what I would want. I would want Solar Flare Aurora because she is just kind of she reminds me of Kingpin as far as her moveset. It is pretty basic and simplistic, but easy to understand enough, and I think she would be fun to use overall in the 3DS starter pack. She's really fast and she's close range, and I think like she's not a fan favorite, but she's basic enough, which is what you want out of a starter pack, and she could be effective if you use her. And then the other one for the villain, because I said in the when I reworked the starter packs, I said that Chompy Mage should be in the starter pack instead of Golden Queen, and then I said for the Dark Edition should have Chompy Mage and Chaos. I think those are off the table. I think the best option is Pain Yada. This guy's design is so enticing. If you saw him in a starter pack, you would just want to get that starter pack because of how awesome this guy looks. Pain Yada is actually like just super awesome looking, and I think he fits the whole 3DS vibe. The 3DS is more of a definitely kid-friendly console, so I think putting someone that just looks funny, looks fun to play around with, being Pain Yada, and Solar Flare Aurora, that awesome variant, in the same starter pack would be really enticing, and I would have loved to see this. Like this, I think would be an absolutely amazing starter pack. Alright, so that is going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one, and please tell me what you would change for the starter packs, and if there's any other video that I could make for this series, because I'm loving changing these starter packs, but there aren't really many more to do from here. So if you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments down below, or if you guys would do anything different with the starter packs, please tell me in the comments down below. But other than that, peace out, guys.